Snitches get stitches, okay? Barry, yes, Barry, the contours looked at me hard, real hard. On my way to the bathroom, Barry. Him, yes, him. Tell him I don't want no parts of him. He don't own the motel, you do, Barry. Hello there, love bugs. Hello there, bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Today's lookies are my fingertip rings. Ooh, so sexy. I told y'all I liked them better when my nails were done. Y'all know I don't get my nails done. I just go to the Target or the Amazon.com and buy me some Lee press-ons. Love them. I don't keep them more often because, you know, they can mess up your nails just like the fake nails can. And we have our new wood bangles. Ooh, I am in love with them. Unfortunately, ladies, these are not for large hands. These are for small to medium hands. And I consider my hands medium. Okay, they long as a mug, but they medium. And I will be selling about 3 or 4 of this exact bundle. Love, love, love. And then I will also be selling some separately, okay? But for the better pricing, you should buy the bundle. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's talk about, the Diana. Call her Miss Ross. The unauthorized biography of Diana Ross by Randy. Look, y'all be so mad when I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name. Randy Taraborelli. Okay? You ain't never read a book like this before. Nah, never read a book like this before. Berry Gordy was worried about the Supremes because to him, they seemed so vulnerable. He thought of the other women on the show as being tough and streetwise and knowing how to handle themselves. But the Supremes were special. They were the girls. They had to be protected because they came across as demure and innocent. Actually, Diana Ross was probably every bit as tough in her own way as were any of the guys on the tour. She just didn't look it with them big brown eyes. Diana pleaded with Berry, telling him that if her group was excluded, it just wouldn't be fair. He thought I was like a baby deer, Diana would recall years later, full of energy, vulnerable. I was very cocky. Berry admired those things in me, but he also knew he had to take care of me. Berry was almost 15 years her senior, but Diana thought he was cute, ambitious, and talented. She knew he could certainly help advance her career if they were a team. He was also married, but the 3 wives in Berry Gordy's life were a colorless bunch compared to women like Diana. Oh, is that a dig? I was like 3 wives, hold on, right? But remember, Sugar Ray had said that people thought that Berry Gordy actually married Margaret right? So we have his first wife, Thelma, then Sugar Ray, and then Rockwell's mother, Margaret. Remember, Sugar Ray had said that Margaret confided in her that they were never married, okay? But, you know, if Berry Gordy ain't come out and say I ain't never married a bitch, that's when I believe it, okay? Because Sugar Ray, I don't know about you, girl. Sometimes I be like, ooh, God rest your soul, girl. I don't have no problems with you because that last book we read was off the chain. I'm going to get him, Diana told her friend. Just wait and see. That man is mine. But that was to be years later. Her first priority was the tour. Before watching his artists drive off, Barry delivered a fatherly lecture about the venture, okay? Being good and respectable people and why they should behave. Because now you are representing Motown. He warned the fellows, in particular the contours, known as much for their sexual exploits as they were for "Do you love me? Do you love me?" Berry Gordy said that they had better leave the girls alone. The groups listened attentively, acting as if they had every intention of being obedient on their first time out of Detroit together. However, autobiographies written by stars who were on those tours have since made it clear that the main question on everybody's mind that morning was simple and direct. Who was going to have sex with whom? Ooh. You ain't never read a book like this before. Never read a book like this before. There were almost as many romantic entanglements among the kids from Motown as there were hit record collaborations. Despite pre-tour warnings, some of the fellows couldn't control their sexual appetites for the passions and favors of the miscellaneous Vandellas and Marvelettes. They wouldn't dare lay their grubby hands on Barry's Supremes, especially Diana, because they feared her connection to Barry. Because you know, snitches get stitches, okay? Barry, yes, Barry, the contours looked at me hard, real hard, on my way to the bathroom, Barry. Him. Yes, him. Tell him I don't want no parts of him. He don't own the Motown. You do, Barry. When Barry found out that an unruly bunch of singers were caught having a sex party in one of the hotel rooms, he became furious and flew in to straighten the matters out. He berated the male singers and suspended a whole group of them from the tour for 4 nights before allowing them to continue. He warned everyone that if this happened again, there would be no future tours. Lies. How the Barry gonna make the money if there ain't no tours, Barry the Gordy? Here go your group right here on the Monococali bus. What the hell is you talking about? Who you gonna send out? If you don't send out your peoples, Barry, child, the manipulation game talking about there will be no more toys. Nigga, please. He just don't want us to have a good time, one of the girls complained bitterly. No, he don't want you bitches to get pregnant. So then he got to worry about replacing you hoes. That's what it is. No hunching. Okay? Shit. What part of that don't you understand? I ain't mad at the Barry for that. I mean, you got to have some standards somewhere. You can't just be letting these fools hunch around. But Barry the Gordy, don't forget you be having sexy parties too, Barry the Gordy.
On the tour, Florence was more inclined to be friendly with the Marvelettes than the Supremes. After having just toured with them, replacing one of the girls during a pregnancy, Mary Wilson, always a sentimentalist, was still baffled and even hurt by Florence's seeming allegiance to the competition, especially when she would share meals with them rather than the Supremes.
Let me tell you something. Who's this dude? Teraboli? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all always trying to correct me, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Teraboli, okay? JT, all right? JT must be so pissed off at Mary Wilson that he don't have no kinds of cut cards when it comes to the Mary Wilson. I'm telling you, the way he depicts her is as a bobblehead, okay? That she don't care about nothing, just as long as I'm a Supreme. Just as long as I'm a Supreme. The tour began on November 2nd, 1962 in Boston, and then proceeded to 19 cities in 23 days. 15 of the gigs were in the deep, dangerous South, beginning with a night in North Carolina on November 5th. Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. North and South Carolina and Florida were all on the itinerary. After Thanksgiving, the review would pick up in Memphis on December 1st and then proceed to New York's Apollo Theater for a week. According to Mickey Stevenson, Motown artist and repertoire director, Diana was intensely competitive on the tour. This kid would rehearse with an energy that was simply uncanny for an 18-year-old performer back then. Diana would be extremely upset when it didn't go well and cry a lot after the shows. She'd go off on her own somewhere and rehearse whatever bothered her. The next night, she'd have it right. By now, Mary and Florence were well aware of Diana's determination and aggressiveness. I was looking at the old performances, like when Diana Ross was on the Ed Sullivan Show. Baby, when I tell you the way that she performs, I said, is this where RuPaul gets lip sync for your life? Because the way that her mouth is moving and her eyes are popping, and her body is swaying, it makes me feel like, damn, did these drag queens study the Diana in order to get these lip syncs perfect? The Apollo was the top, said band leader Andy Kirk. It was the thing. You had to play the Apollo, and once you did play it, you had made it. For the Supremes, a big disappointment came when they ran out to look at their names on the marquee and discovered that they weren't listed with the other acts on the show. Florence got on the phone to Barry and demanded to know why they weren't on the billing. He told her to shut the fuck up talking to me, and bitch, you happy that you on a tour in the first damn place. Diana remembers her first date at the Apollo as a career highlight. She had been quoted as saying, "I was so happy. I just couldn't stop laughing." But Mickey Stevenson remembers just the opposite. The Apollo audience didn't really like Diana and the Supremes because they were a lot more sophisticated than what those audiences were used to. So what it sounded like to me is that the Mickey Stevenson is saying that you out there in New York audience, the Apollo Theater audience, that y'all some ninjas around there, okay? And you guys are too trifling to understand class and refinement that the Supremes has to give. Ain't never read a book like this before. Never read a book like this before. By January 1963, Berry Gordy had decided that the Supremes were to be a company priority. Every writer and producer at Hitsville wanted to satisfy Berry Gordy and ingratiate themselves with him. Suddenly, everyone on staff clamored for the opportunity to work with the Supremes. Gordy had said that he wanted Diana in the studio separate from the other two. Clarence Paul remembered, but I told him that I wouldn't go for that because I felt I was recording a group. And so I wanted a group sound. So, okay, this is funny. Okay, my bad. I know you Diana Ross haters going to be like, see, that's why we don't like her. We don't care. You need more people. Anyway, right, what happened was, okay, they in the studio, the Supremes, okay, Mary, Florence, and Diana, right? Diana is in her feelings like, wait a minute, do this dude Clarence Paul know what's going on? He must don't know what's going on. So she goes, excuse me, can I come out there and talk to you right quick, Mr. Clarence Paul? He's like, okay, come on out, Diana. Diana comes out and was like, excuse me, Clarence Paul, you do know that I'm the lead singer of the group. Yep. Why Are the other two singing leads? I'm confused. Because that's the way I want it. As Murray and Florence glared at her, she smiled innocently. What she didn't know was that her partners had heard the entire conversation between her and Paul through the intercom system of their headphones. In March 1963, around Diana's 19th birthday, Gordy decided to release Meet the Supremes, a compilation of flips and flops. Many have actually said that they were the sound, but that's not really true. The sound belonged to all the writers and producers, but HDH originated many of the original elements. Martha and the Vandellas were an excellent vocal group, in fact. Almost all Motown historians agree that Martha Reeves was one of the real major musical talents the company ever turned out. A genuine artist and arguably the most creative singer of Hitsville. Reeves had extensive training and experience in jazz, gospel, and even opera. Oh, okay. So I would put her up there with the Sugar Ray, okay, if you ask me, because Berry Gordy didn't have no formal training, but it seems like Ray Noma and this lady did, and Martha Reeves did. It was well known among the artists, writers, and producers at Motown that Diana was jealous of Martha, and that Martha wasn't very fond of Diana either. Diana would complain that Martha was unfriendly, while Martha would accuse Diana of snubbing her in the hallways of Hitsville. You know, they continue talking about the cat fights, right, between Diana and Martha, right? The author, JT, is like, I don't know what they so upset for, because both of them started out as secretaries, okay? Now, the Martha, she ain't gonna admit that, okay? She don't want you ninjas to know that at one time, hello, Hitsville, USA. She don't want you ninjas to know that, okay? But Diana Ross, she liked for people to know that she worked her way to the top, okay? I guess Martha like, I want them to know that I came through the door on the top. Diana told Barry in no uncertain terms that she wanted Holland, Dozier, and Holland to come up with a winning formula for her, just as they had for Martha Reeves. For her, baby, you still a part of the group. You know, I know that's the part that be annoying y'all. I mean, but goddamn, I mean, she the one that's throwing, you know, 3-pointers. That's what I seen one of my people say it in the comments. Diana told Barry in no uncertain terms that she wanted Holland, Dozier, Holland to come up with a winning formula for her, just as they had for Martha Reeves. Barry wasn't sure that this would be a good idea after all. What would Martha think? Certainly, Diana didn't care what Martha thought about her idea. As Barry tried to make up his mind, Diana apparently decided to take matters in her own hands. You ain't never read a book like this before. Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Now remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves. You babies, have a good one. Peace.